find a sign. One day I asked my landlord why the roads were still set up in this way, and he answered, "So the Yankee fans can't find their way to Fenway when they drive their cars up from New York." Well, that made me feel better. 10 years later, in 2010, I was on a vacation in Portland, Oregon. I walked through Pioneer Courthouse Square with my family. The landmark public space was alive with people and activity on a crisp summer evening. Following Google Maps on my iPhone, I navigated the half-mile down Yamhill Street to a restaurant called Luk Lak Vietnamese Kitchen. My 8-year-old daughter Isabel asked me, "Daddy Bill, what did people do before Google Maps?" I thought back to those Boston days, to the nights left to chance and happenstance, like a Yankee fan in Boston's North End before Yelp and OpenTable, before the iPhone and Google Maps, to a world in which I would have never known about a restaurant like Luk Lak, 4.5 stars, and if I had, would have had to stop strangers for directions 3 different times. I thought back to all those miscalculated turns and premature roundabout exits, and all those restaurants I walked into without shudder, reading reviews, and those hotels booked without horror, looking at the street view imagery of the block where they resided. I looked up from my Google Maps app, slid my iPhone into my vest pocket, smiled at Shelley, and tried to answer. We got lost a lot, sweetie. Before 2004, we printed out maps from MapQuest and crammed poorly folded AAA maps in our glove compartments or under our seats. We stopped at gas stations and asked strangers behind bulletproof plexiglass for directions. We asked hotel concierges for dubious restaurant recommendations, and when on vacation, we rented condos that stretched the definition of beachfront. We studied confusing subway maps, green line, not E. We got lost. We settled for mediocre meals, and we pounded on our dashboards. But by 2010, a navigation and mapping technology had changed everything forever, and I was there to witness its creation and played my small part. A friend of mine from the team, Michael Jones, put it to me this way. Think about it. 200,000 years of human beings on Earth, and we are the very last generation to ever know what it was like to be lost. And no one after us, no generation to come, will ever be lost in the way that every generation before was. All over the world today, people are landing in New York or Tokyo or Cairo or even the Democratic Republic of Congo. Anywhere, they're stepping off planes in a foreign land, in a place that they've never been. And guess what? They know where they are. They can find their hotel, or a restaurant, or a friend's house, or an office for a business meeting, or whatever. He paused, looked at me, and added, "And we did that. You and me and everyone that worked at Keyhole and Where to Tech and the Google Maps team. We fixed that." Back in Portland, I opened the door to Luk Lak on that summer evening, knowing already it was the perfect restaurant. I knew it was open. I had pre-screened the menu, and I had navigated there with ease, thanks to the Google Maps app on my iPhone. I knew it wasn't going to be too fancy or too expensive. Shelley passed me with a knowing grin on her face. She remembered our Boston days. She remembered how it all came to be, the technology that changed our lives forever. And now she was one of its billion monthly users. Keyhole started barely in 1999. It ran out of cash essentially in 2002. It was resuscitated by CNN and In-Q-Tel, the venture capital arm of the CIA, in 2003. And by 2004, it was bought by another 5-year-old company. That company was Google. Google bought 2 mapping companies that year, a 4-person team working out of an apartment in Sydney that had not yet even incorporated as a business, and a 29-person company in California called Keyhole, for which I served as marketing director. In the fall of 2004, Google combined those 2 teams with a small group of existing Google employees in Building 41 in the Googleplex in Mountain View, California, gave them 0 direction, unlimited resources, and presented the teams with a secret problem. 25% of all queries being typed into the simple white Google search